Taylor Swift's shock involvement in Blake Lively's highly publicized legal roller coaster with Justin Baldoni rocked the foundations of their decade-long friendship, and the A-list pals are still struggling to move on from the fallout, with Bad Blood singer no longer communicating with Lively.
Here's a new blind item that is allegedly about Blake Lively and how she is using all of her friends' names to remind people that they should like her, and how this could allegedly get her kicked out of her friend group, especially with Taylor.
Taylor Swift has officially cut all ties with Blake Lively, and insiders say Selena Gomez might know the real reason behind it. During a celebratory dinner for Taylor getting her masters back, she confided in Selena about why she decided to ghost Blake completely. Sources revealed Taylor was shocked that Blake would weaponize their friendship, allegedly using her to pressure Justin Baldoni and other co-stars, and even threatening to release Taylor's private texts and embarrassing moments to force her to side with Blake in her lawsuit against Justin. Additionally, Blake reportedly attempted to interfere in Taylor's personal relationships, allegedly trying to get her boyfriends to break up with her by spreading embarrassing or false information. Selena, long skeptical of Blake, fully supported Taylor cutting ties, having always disliked Blake's behavior. This has raised questions about what kind of friend would engage in such tactics, though some wonder if the media is once again painting Blake as the villain. Reports indicate the fallout from the It Ends With Us drama has left Taylor regretting the friendship entirely. A source told the Daily Mail, "Right now, if Taylor had one wish, it would be that she never met Blake." While there were good moments in their friendship, the legal issues surrounding the Baldwin case overshadowed them, and Taylor now sees the red flags she previously ignored. Relieved the relationship is over, she finally pulled the trigger after enduring Blake's manipulations for too long, despite her loyalty. Fans noticed the rift when Taylor celebrated her Masters milestone in New York with friends, and Blake was conspicuously absent. Taylor's dinner with Dakota Johnson, who had also recently distanced herself from Blake, and her choice of a floral dress, seen as a subtle jab at Blake's floral campaign during the It Ends With Us press run, added fuel to speculation. The most telling detail, however, was that Taylor was photographed with Selena Gomez, her longtime confidant who never trusted Blake. Reports suggest Selena always sensed something off about Blake, noting her overly aggressive friendship patterns and early claims that Taylor was her bestie and godmother to her children. Selena reportedly warned Taylor years ago, but it wasn't until Blake drew Taylor into her messy legal battle with Justin Baldoni that Selena felt vindicated. Over time, it became clear that Blake repeatedly crossed boundaries that even ordinary friends wouldn't, let alone someone considered a best friend. While Taylor once tolerated Blake's odd behavior, from overstepping privacy to leveraging friendships for personal gain, the cumulative effect of these manipulations, compounded by threats and interference in Taylor's personal life, finally ended the friendship. The combination of the It Ends With Us legal saga, Blake's alleged use of Taylor for leverage, and the pattern of red flags ignored over the years explains why Taylor severed ties completely, with Selena's long-held concerns confirming what Taylor eventually realized. Blake's friendship had become toxic, exploitative, and ultimately untenable, leaving Taylor free to focus on her life, career, and personal well-being without Blake's influence or interference. Taylor Swift has reportedly reached her limit with Blake Lively, and sources say it all came to a head when Blake subpoenaed Taylor in her ongoing legal battle against Justin Baldoni. Taylor, known for her loyalty, had long excused Blake's behavior, but this was the breaking point. According to insiders, Taylor was deeply hurt when the media began dragging her name through the mud, realizing that Blake had crossed personal boundaries. Blake allegedly used Taylor's name to pressure Justin Baldoni, and Taylor felt betrayed, exploited, and violated, particularly by Blake's texts referencing her as Casey and claiming she had dragons, which insiders described as demeaning and treating Taylor like a possession. The Daily Mail reported that Taylor decided to take a step back from Blake to avoid getting further entangled in the drama, which had already escalated far beyond what she ever signed up for. Her friends also felt that Blake's tactics were uncool and unnecessary, serving merely as an intimidation strategy. The situation worsened when Taylor received a subpoena from Justin Baldwin's lawyer, Brian Friedman. Interestingly, Taylor had no direct involvement with the film's production, Her only connection was licensing her song My Tears Ricochet for It Ends With Us, similar to 19 other artists, none of whom faced subpoenas. Taylor's spokesperson claimed the subpoena was purely for publicity, designed to generate tabloid attention by using Taylor's name rather than focusing on substantive legal facts. Even if Taylor had tolerated previous entanglements with Blake, being dragged into public controversy over something so minor pushed her over the edge, as every few days a new headline tied her to a case unrelated to her. The tension escalated further amid rumors that Blake allegedly threatened to expose Taylor's private and embarrassing texts if she didn't side with her in the Justin Baldoni lawsuit. After Taylor's camp asserted that the subpoena was for clout, Friedman countered, stating there was a legitimate legal purpose. Court documents suggested that Blake tried to pressure Taylor into issuing a public statement supporting her and requested that Taylor delete messages between them during Blake's escalating legal conflict with Justin. According to the filings, the subpoena was intended to obtain information related to potential witness tampering and evidence spoliation, specifically alleging that Blake attempted to coerce Taylor into publicly supporting her position. The documents further claimed that Justin Baldoni's legal team obtained information indicating that Blake had asked Taylor to delete texts containing details spanning over a decade of friendship, personal relationships, and private confidences. Additionally, Blake's attorney, Michael Gotadl, reportedly contacted Taylor's lawyer to demand that Taylor release a statement favorable to Blake. For Taylor, this was the final straw. The combination of being threatened, used as leverage, and dragged into public scandal over a peripheral role in the film made it clear that the friendship had become toxic. Sources emphasize that Taylor felt violated on both the personal and professional level, leading her to permanently sever ties with Blake. The entire episode highlights a dramatic breakdown of trust and loyalty, illustrating how legal battles in Hollywood can bleed into personal relationships, turning private friendships into public crises. Taylor's decision to cut Blake off reflects not only her need to protect herself from further manipulation, but also her insistence on drawing boundaries after years of being put in compromising situations, confirming that even celebrities with long-standing bonds are not immune to betrayal when fame, influence, and legal maneuvering collide. Blake Lively's reported actions toward Taylor Swift have apparently crossed a line, prompting Taylor to cut ties completely. Court documents suggest Blake allegedly threatened to release private and embarrassing texts between her and Taylor if Taylor did not publicly support her in the legal battle against Justin Baldoni. Fans and insiders have called this a shocking betrayal, explaining why Taylor had remained quiet about Blake's lawsuit for so long. According to filings, Taylor's lawyers addressed these inappropriate threats in written communications to Blake's attorney, Michael Gotadl, and these communications are now part of a subpoena by Baldwin's team, intended to provide evidence of attempted witness intimidation and coercion. The public reaction was swift, with many fans stunned that Blake would turn on Taylor so drastically. While the subpoena itself could be seen as procedural, the alleged threats elevate the situation to a serious personal betrayal. But Blake's controversial moves didn't stop there. She also subpoenaed Scooter Braun, famously Taylor Swift's longtime adversary. Fans were puzzled, as Scooter had little to do with the case, raising suspicions that Blake's intentions were more about targeting Taylor than legal necessity. For context, Taylor's conflict with Scooter dates back to 2019, when he acquired Big Machine Records and thereby gained control over her first 6 albums, forcing her to start re-recording her music to regain ownership. Reports suggest Blake subpoenaed Scooter's company, HIB, to access documents related to Melissa Nathan, Wayfarer Studios' PR executive and co-defendant in Blake's lawsuit against Justin. However, rumors suggest the real motive was to obtain dirt on Taylor or sabotage her efforts to reclaim her masters. Taylor reportedly recognized Blake as a toxic influence, realizing the friendship had become manipulative and harmful. The combination of subpoenas, threats, and attempts to coerce her into public support was the final straw. According to a source cited by Page 6, Taylor has cut off all contact and refuses to discuss anything related to the lawsuit, making it clear she has no intention of rekindling their friendship. Over the years, Taylor had tolerated Blake's antics out of loyalty, but the escalating legal drama and Blake's reported willingness to weaponize their personal relationship revealed the true toxicity of the friendship. The alleged threats, particularly those framing Taylor as a dragon or possession, were deeply insulting, and the subpoena that followed, despite being framed as procedural, felt like a direct attempt to intimidate and embarrass her. Fans noticed the shift in Taylor's behavior, including her absence from public events where Blake was previously expected to be included, signaling a definitive break. The involvement of Scooter Braun added another layer of intrigue, as his connection to Taylor's music catalog and past conflicts made Blake's subpoena appear strategic rather than purely legal. Insider reports suggest the goal was not about case-related evidence, but about leveraging private information to manipulate public perception and pressure Taylor, further confirming the rift between the two celebrities. Ultimately, Taylor's decision to sever ties reflects her recognition that the friendship had become harmful, particularly in light of Blake's reported attempts to exploit her for legal and PR gain. Taylor's silence on the matter until now aligns with her reputation for discretion, but the unfolding court documents and allegations paint a clear picture. Blake's behavior was manipulative and coercive, leaving Taylor no choice but to step back. Fans and media observers alike are questioning the ethics of Blake's tactics, noting that even minor involvement in licensing a song for the film became a point of leverage in her strategy. In response, Taylor has prioritized her personal well-being and professional boundaries, refusing to engage further with Blake or the lawsuit. This decisive move underscores the seriousness of Blake's reported actions and signals a permanent end to a friendship that, while once celebrated, had grown toxic and exploitative. Taylor's choice highlights how legal entanglements in Hollywood can dramatically impact personal relationships, especially when fame, influence, and coercion intersect, ultimately leaving her free from further manipulation and public scrutiny linked to Blake's actions.